everyone, we are here to do a flower pour. But before I get my resin ready and pour my colors, I had someone mention in the comments they'd like to see me do the mica powder around the edge. I've picked out this Let's Resin metallic powder, silver. Now, this powder is a little trickier to work with because it doesn't clean up as well. But we're going to use it anyway. So I have a little makeup brush. And I just stick it in, and then I tap around the edge. Try to take some of it off, and then I swirl. I am not the neatest person at doing things. I'm not a detail-oriented person. If you watch my videos, you do know that. So there are tons of ways you can probably be neater at doing this and create less dust. But this is me, this is what I do. And I just go over it. Now, with mica powder, I like it to completely cover and be a thick cover. You can do it lighter colors, but I find that the thicker the layer that you put on, the more chance it has of showing. Sometimes it doesn't show up really well. So you need a good coat of it. We're almost done. See how fast it is? Now, if you're being a little bit less messy, it does take a little bit longer, but I zip right through it and get on to the good stuff. Now, after you do this, you want to get some of your loose powder off before you start cleaning. I'm going to just close this up, set my brush to the side, and I'm going to tap this on the side of my trash can. You're going to hear this. And that's me cleaning it. I got some stuff on it from my trash can. Now, if you look at this one, I'm wiping it with my wipe and it's not coming off very well. Normal mica powder would come off well. This is the metallic one, so it takes a little bit more. So I use my alcohol spray, and then it comes off. It's just the alcohol ones are a little bit stronger, require just a little bit more than your average mica powders. Because normally this would be super easy. You just rub it with a baby wipe. I like Pampers baby wipes. I have tried some of the cheap ones, and while they work, if you're using them to wipe off your bloom utensils, they tend to shred. So I stopped using the cheaper ones because of what I use these for. And you could see it's taken a little more work to get this off. It's not as simple, but it still works the same exact way. It'll come off with our resin. Give it another spray. I also don't mind if you leave some on, you know, when it colors up into your project. It's going to have stray pieces anyway that color up into what you're working on. That just happens. As much as you try to get everything off, sometimes it doesn't all come off. All right, and I had paper towels in here, but I don't. I leave them under my board, but I must have used them all. So let me grab one. Because you do want to dry it up. And I'm also going to give it a rub around the edge. hoping to stop too much of it from going into our project. All right, I think that's good enough for what I'm looking for. Move that back to that spot. And now let's go ahead and get our mixing cups out. All right, we're back. So I have Teexpert Fast Cure resin in a cup. I'm working on 2 projects and I'm waiting for it to warm up for a bloom that I'm doing. So I poured extra so I could do this. I'm guesstimating about 7 ounces for this mold. So I'm just going to start pouring some resin in these cups. And I am going to do them pretty evenly. That might be more white than I need, but looks like we might need more in this cup. Maybe a little more in this cup. So let me see. Just so y'all know, I use this cup to tell me how to convert ounces to milliliters because my large cups don't have ounces on them. So I saved this 16-ounce cup just so I can keep an eye on it and figure it out instead of doing math. All right. So I just checked to make sure I'm using that amount of resin. All right, so in my first cup, I am using alcohol inks. And the reason I'm using alcohol inks is because I'm using a fast cure resin, so it's thicker, and that gives me more latitude with the kinds of inks that I use. So the first one is Octopus Fluids Alcohol Ink Midnight. Now it does take more of these to color it, so I'm automatically going to do 15. All right, and I'm also going to add from Into Resin some silver shimmer. My little spoon, just a tad. Just the tip of that spoon. These things drive me nuts. It's like, yeah, I can't ever turn them on right. All right, let's give this a mix. We gotta go kind of fast because I don't want this resin to thicken any more than it already is. See, this is how it looks. I don't know why the table's shaking. I'm not touching anything. All right. Oh, we should show you the shimmer. All right, next I'm doing brownie, and I'm doing 15 of this also. I open them to the side because they get crusty bits on them. All right. I'm still deciding what color is going to go first. It just depends how they look to me. I think this one needs more. So let's add 10 more. I was hoping to make this my darker color and maybe do it first, but I don't know. All right, and next I have carrot, and I hope it looks different enough from brownie. And I'm gonna do, let's hit right off with 20. I might like this one second. All right, and next is our white. I'm gonna add a pea-sized drop of Let's Resin Ocean White. You'll see it goes in there. I don't know if you can see, kind of stringy. So I'm guesstimating what size is a pea-sized drop. Having done this for as long as I have, which is only, geesh, I think I might be over a year now. I sort of have an idea what's a pea-sized drop of Ocean White. So when I drizzle it in, I know what I'm looking for. All right, let's see. That looks good. I'm also going to use a piping bag because I have more control, but feel free to drizzle it into your cup or use your cup and pour it in. The only thing about that is I'm going to do dotting in the middle or dotting in the mold. And I haven't decided how much yet. So if I have this, I'm prepared for that. I know I'm at least going to do maybe halfway dotting. Otherwise, with that thicker resin, it doesn't seem to go into the center as much, and I prefer it to have the flower effect in the center. All right, so what I've decided to do is drizzle 2 colors to start with. So I'm gonna do the black, maybe halfway up the edge. And I'm gonna stop with that. Then I'm gonna bring this in and also go up the edge to give some color into the edge in addition to the silver. Then I'm gonna dump the rest of the black into the center. Because what I like to get is rings as my lines of where to do things. And I actually just thought about where I'd like to do this one. All right, so let's get our white ready. I did not let this warm up at all. It's just room temperature. All right, so you see where the crystal touches the inside of the mold, that circle? Let's do there. And then let's also do where the black starts for this circle. And all right, we got, let's see, maybe we'll do a little of the brown, though it looks so much like the carrot. Let's get ready for another circle. Just where my colors are touching each other. All right. I'm a little off kilter, but you guys know I'm off kilter. Dump the rest of this in. Let's see how much I have this. All right. Move this out of my way. And then I'm gonna start some dotting. This will be my first set of dotting. You notice I'm not doing them perfectly because I know I'm coming back in here with a pour. It's so thick I'm drizzling. It's like getting a little tail as I move to the next one. do those. Let's drop some more of this in there. Push it out some. Maybe a little bit more. I'm going to do that again. But I'm going to start at the black line. Or should I say where the white is? I don't know if you guys can see the black line left. Oh, doing too far apart. I got to go a little bit faster because the white's going to start coming in on me. I got my light in my face. I can't see very well. So I'm hoping that this is going how I want. All right, so I've reached where I was dotting before. Let's start back in the center. And really, how you do this, just go with your gut. I got a little string on there. However you want to do it, wherever you want your dots to begin and end. It's not quite as much as with the fairy flower, but it's still a little bit of dotting. So you definitely can't do this just from the cup, but you can do some of it from a cup. And instead of doing this, you could just do more circles, if that's more how you want to do things. Work out your way of doing things. Doesn't have to be our way. Now, the other thing I do like is the dotting around the edge. So I'm gonna go, I think it gives it a cool effect. It actually looks more like petals. So I'm gonna go. Did you guys hear that sound just come on? I got a new Fire Stick from Prime Day. And it's got this thing, like if you wait so long and you're not watching anything, even just left the TV on, music comes on. And I don't know why. And I've looked at the settings on how to turn it off. I used to think I was technological savvy sort of person, but as I've aged, I'm really not. I'm really made fun of my mother. Now look at me. I'm like, I can't get this TV to stop making noise. I was telling Rose that I just ramble when I'm doing dotting. I always tell you guys to fast forward so you don't have to listen to it. My brain is constantly going. We're almost done though. Hang in there with me. Be like those exercise instructors. 5 more, 4 more, 3 more. Switch legs. I did an awful big space there. All right, I think that's it. That's the fun part. We'll do a little bit more in the center. And this is definitely going to stop the white from going in there. So actually, I had more resin than I thought. So I'm just going to do a quick little dot around it. Just because I don't like the center to be too white. I could have poured more resin with this pour. I didn't quite for enough. Now I'm gonna have to figure out how to get the silver off my mold. All right, I forgot my bits. So I'm gonna go over and look at what kind of things we got. I'm thinking they may all be on the table in front of me because I didn't see them. Let's see. Got those. Oh, I don't want purple. All right, so I have gold, I have black, I have these beady blacks, and I have these gold. I think I'm just going black stones. All right. I know I won't be able to see these once I pop them in, so we just have to hope we get them in the right spot. Maybe a little this way. Help them down since the resin's so thick. It's gonna swallow them whole as soon as it starts. Then of course I'm gonna watch for bubbles. With the thick resin like this, I'm bound to get some. I'm gonna let that move itself down and keep an eye on it. All right, that's it for now. Actually, I'm gonna maybe, I saw some that were off to the side, so I wanted to get them. All right, we'll be back when it's time to unmold this. Fingers crossed we got something cool. All right, we are back. I'm a little worried about this because of the heavy black around it. Maybe my resin was too heavy. Maybe adding that silver made it heavy too. I don't know. We'll check and see. Everybody loves that sound. It's like opening Christmas presents. All right, here we go. Oh, that's not bad at all. It's much better than I thought it would be because I actually have white that came through here, and I was really thinking the white wasn't going to come through. So can you see that? So the white did come, the white did come through the black with the silver. So I think it did work out well. I was really worried when I saw the back, but we did get some white